Okay, we're recording and then we're on YouTube, and let me change the screen to the agenda. And then Andrea, it's all you.
Okay, well, it's September 14th, 2023, Thursday at 3:05 p.m. And we will begin our Stewardship Committee meeting. We have Evan Clapper from the Grand County Commission. We have Molly Taylor and Tom Dillon and Mike Kelso from the Stewardship Committee, Jennifer Jones from the Bureau of Land Management, and myself, Director Sam Flats. And then Matt is manning the controls here, Matt Olding from Sam Flats. And so we can begin. So the first thing is approval of the minutes. And I sent them to you 2 days ago, I think. So were there any needed changes?
Not to my knowledge.
I motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, Molly makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Mike seconds. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All together. Synchronicity.
Yeah, they can start a chorus. Yeah, choir. Okay, passes unanimously. Okay, so the first thing, Matt, if you could go to the
The spreadsheet.
remit total sheet. Yeah, because I didn't print those out. I did send them to people, but I didn't print those out. So whoop, it's making hatch number signs
Is it
when you
better
blew
now?
it up. I don't, it does, okay, yeah, that's better. Yep.
Okay.
So comparing with what do I have here? Comparing with 2022, we are down 4% to date. If we look at, through August of 2022 and 2023, we're down 4%. But you might remember that we were down 22% or something in March, and then we were down, I think, about 12% when we met last time. So we've been making it up. And the fee increase went into effect August 15th. So by my calculations, we should bring in another 30,000. Even if we stay like this, we should bring in another 30,000 this fall.
Have you had any feedback from folks, positive, negative, otherwise?
Nothing negative. People they haven't even really noticed, to tell you the truth. They are just like, oh, because we just say $10 a week. And we're getting lots of $10 bills now. We always had lots of 5s and 1s. Now we just get lots of 10s and 20s. So, and our screen up there on the register is just like, whoa, there's only like 4 buttons to push now. So I just definitely streamlined it.
Short-term suffering for long-term gain.
Yeah, thanks. So we haven't heard any problems.
Great.
So I mean, we'll get more repeat visitors. We get into the fall, but it's so reasonable, really. So, and there are a lot of them are like, oh, we have it for a week. We have it for a week. Great. So yeah, I was in there this morning, and that seemed to be my impression, and last week as well. So okay, so on here, what else do I need to point out? Compared to 2019, I didn't put it on here, but we're up like 0.5% compared to them. But last year was a bigger year. So I didn't check with Travel Council. They don't, I guess I could have asked Melissa, but because we don't have August grant there anymore. But anyway, I think that what are you? I know when we had our meeting last time, Katie said it was similar.
I think we're generally anywhere from 3 to 10 to 15%, depending on state parks, national parks, BLM.
Down.
It sounds like.
Oh, well then we're okay. So we're doing well then. So okay, well, we can go on to our proposed budget for and the 2023 budget is on that spreadsheet as well. So I have the proposed 2024, and I met with Gabriel from the clerk's office I'm gonna say his last name wrong. Can you tell me his name, Evan? Whitetek. I
Oh,
knew
that's
I,
an easy way. We should've just
but
changed
it's
the
spelled
spelling.
different, yeah.
It sounds like boy, that's all I remember.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
Tomatoes.
what you can do with the sheets, if you have the printout, is, you know, you can put them like this, put them side by side. And, they will line up. So year to date, we've spent, you can see the totals are at the top on this. It's a little different. This is, taken from Cassell, which is the way the, Grand County puts in the budgets in the program. So, oh, wait a minute, let me have this thing with me that I didn't give to you. So we are fine with our budget as far as salaries and benefits. We're, just a little bit over 56% for benefits and under 50% for salaries, and this is through August. So we probably will not spend what is shown here, even with bringing on 2 seasonals. So I think it was calculated a little high by HR and Chris Baird, which happened last year too, but that's okay. We're different. We're an enterprise fund. It just rolls back in. So, so anyway, yeah, the first column is this year. And I don't think there's anything different on there from what we talked about last time, as far as like the few overages. You know, you might remember we talked about office supplies and equipment. That was because we got a software program in there. And then what was the other one that was over? There was contract professional services. That's because we paid for the videos before the TRT money kicked in after 3 months. And we also paid some money for the RAISE grant. So there's not really anything over compared to last time, maybe a little bit more for printing and publishing, because we did have to reprint some more tags for the permits. And then you might remember we're over in some of the inventory office equipment because I had to get a new computer, and the IT wanted me to get a new laptop as well because our computers were like 7 years old. So, you know, it was time, and mine was really not cooperating anymore. So we definitely got our life out of it. So there wasn't really anything else. Okay, so the next, well, do you have any questions about any of that? And you can compare it with the next column, which is, you know, what the budget is.
Moving ahead, what the 2024 budget request, where's the budget request total? Oh, where's the 2024 budget request total?
Okay, well, I
Oh.
don't have the total because I don't have benefits and salaries yet.
Okay, all right.
But,
Never mind. No, that's okay.
so,
That's fine. I can do percentages.
but the other thing, what else was I gonna say? Oh, you do have a narrative.
Yeah.
So the narrative, we can have that in front of us. I met with Gabe last week and we went over the narrative. And some things that are different from last year for 2024 is we're going to separate out, we're going to create a line item 210, which is going to be for subscriptions for Adobe Suite software, because we have to pay that apparently every year. And that's, of course, to do our brochures, to do our signs for the prison. So that's a new line item because we didn't have one because our subscriptions up till now were just for like the Times Independent. So I would just put it into office supplies. So the office supplies one is higher because, why did I make it higher? I guess, why am I taking it out of that? Wait a minute, wait a second, hold on.
Oh, where is office supplies? Supplies and equipment? Which number? So,
It is 240.
okay.
Wait a second, let me look at my one up here. Let's see if I just did something wrong. Let me just double check.
Oh, I found it.
I'm trying to think if I didn't bring it down after I It should be number 10, right? It's too,
Yeah.
okay, I messed up on the narrative. The narrative has it too high.
You didn't increase it.
Well, that's because we created a new line item for
Okay.
1,100.
All right.
That's gonna be the subscription.
That's fine.
So I'm sorry, if you look at, hold on, this isn't the best thing, the way I have it set up. What does it have on office supplies for 2024 on that, Matt?
2024 is 1,500. Oh,
And that's what it should be. Okay, I just made a mistake on my narrative. For some reason, I have 2,550. That's with the total of what it's gonna be at the end of this year because the Adobe Suite in this year's. So it should just say 1,500 for the narrative for 2024. And it should say, and I believe it says 1,500 on, what says it on that?
Yeah.
Did I?
I just changed it.
Oh, you just
Oh,
changed it.
oh.
Oh, you sneaky devil. All right.
that's funny.
Okay, vehicle maintenance, I think is the same. Or maybe I brought it up a little bit. No, I kept it the same. We do have some more vehicles though, so we'll see how that goes, but we haven't spent that much so far this year. You know, we do have the motorcycle. I'll get into that, but we got an e-bike and we're hoping to get the Can-Am before the end of the year. So we will have more vehicles, but we will get rid of the Kawasaki Mule. Buildings and grounds maintenance, I brought that up from 3 to 4 because finally gonna do the landscaping in the front yard. Want to get that
Oh, I
done.
kind of like the barrenness.
Well, it'll be xeriscape. I mean,
Okay,
it'll be all
alright.
native plants.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
I
gonna be
thought we
grass
were
or
doing that.
anything. No, well, I just didn't get to it.
Okay, I
It's
thought
been on the
I-
back burner, but yeah, so I upped that one a little, 1,000. Contract professional services, it seems like I think I usually just budget 1,000 for that. And yeah, and it seems like I'm gone over on that a few years, so I thought, let's just bring it up because that helps us with things that come up. Lease payment vehicles, $24,000, and what that is, it probably won't be that much depending on when we get our third vehicle, but we're gonna get rid of the 250 truck. It's a 2003. We'll probably give it to Trail Ambassadors. But they might be getting new ones. I don't know. I heard some talk of that. But anyway, we have 2 leased right now. So we get a third one leased. They're like 8,000 a year. And so but Cody and McKinney at the road department says we probably won't get that third one until April or maybe not even until June. But he said, go ahead and budget it at 8 in case we luck out and we get it in January or something. And he was trying to explain to me, and he said if we like turn these vehicles around, like in 1 year, we'd probably only spend $1,000 because when we turn it in, we get all this equity back. I don't really want to deal with turning a vehicle in every year.
Seems pretty inexpensive.
Well, yeah, I know. I don't know, because right now we are spending.
How many miles do you have in the vehicles now when you turn them off?
Well, I haven't turned one in after a year, but
Because usually.
pretty
once you-
low.
Once you get to 80,000, that's the.
oh
big
no.
number.
Okay, well, no, it's
Yeah,
no.
but this is just leasing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
leasing,
Yes.
but it's not a typical lease. It's kind of like you're leasing to own, like you have. I still
there's
don't really
different-
understand.
there's
I need to
different
see it in
programs.
writing. I have trouble with it.
It's like the volume thing, because we're leasing so many of them, we can get them
Oh.
initially really cheap,
Okay,
and then we return them like at whatever their sale value would be when
Mhm.
it's 30 or 40,000
Yeah.
or something, and so. It's because we have this commitment to keep doing a bunch of them. that they give them for
oh,
this cheap.
so. Okay, but we're turning them right back in to the same place we got them.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Enterprise sells them.
Okay. And we're already getting a state discount or something, right? A government discount for the purchase of them?
Well, the leasing.
Well, we're
is
not purchasing them. We're
yeah,
not purchasing,
right,
what am I
right,
saying?
Yeah,
Okay, I was getting mixed up. I was thinking of like when we bought our 2 trucks, we got them for considerable amount less because they were through the state contract.
yeah.
It was like a 40,000, we got it for like 32. So so you guys feel like it's the way to go?
It cuts out a lot of that maintenance cost to older vehicles. So it's kind of like before any of the regular maintenance is due, pass them on.
Although, they have been having problems, but they're under warranty. So we've had to bring them in to have things fixed at Ford,
Yeah,
with Cody
but
saying
it's under warranty.
it's under warranty,
Yeah.
so it doesn't cost us anything, but we have to go do it, and we might not have a vehicle for a few days
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but.
And I don't know, I remember early on, there was stuff with like 4-wheel drive vehicles too.
Yeah, ours are 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but the sheriff also had some, and because the enterprise thing is typically road cars. There was a little like, oh, how are we gonna deal with this? And I think it's been ironed out, but at first they were like, you can't drive on dirt or something.
That's not gonna work.
Exactly.
Okay.
But, I think that's all square now, but
Okay.
that might have led to some of that warranty stuff in the beginning,
Oh,
some of those curveballs.
well, we really like our Ford 150, 2-door.
Yeah.
And, anyway.
Cody's much more familiar with it, so
Yeah.
whatever he recommends is gonna work.
Yeah, he kind of recommends it, but he also says it's up to me,
Okay.
our department or our committee, but,
Yeah.
cause I said, well, we've paid in, 16,000, we need to pay a little bit more and we'd own it, and then, we have, two, they don't require much maintenance because they don't
Yeah.
really do much, they just go up the Sandplatz Road and come back. We don't take those on the trails, we take our UTVs on the trails. So, anyway. What's the next one? The next one is the toilet contract, and the reason I have this in yellow is because I don't have the final number. 70,000 is what we budgeted last year. Kelly Zunick doesn't think it's gonna go up much. She's waiting to hear, I told her I need to have the final one by next week because I go before the commission. And she's waiting to hear back from the city because she doesn't know if they're gonna up the, the fees for the waste.
But year to date, you're only 37.9 and you only have 3 more months.
Yeah, but we're gonna pump.
Right.
Pumping's like 15,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the deal on the insurance? You got that marked out?
Okay, the insurance, the 1,200, Gabe,
Oh, which number?
which one are we on? Are you on the 1,200 for insurance?
Yeah.
Where do you see it?
It's way down. It's a
Okay.
ways away. Let's,
It's at the
let's,
bottom of the list.
yeah, let's keep going and then we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Accounting,
not bad.
accounting and bookkeeping. So Gabe said he's just gonna keep what it was last year. And that's that money goes to HR and payroll and the treasurer's office. I wasn't aware until a few years ago that the bank actually charges us a fee for cash. It charged like, I don't know, 50 cents if you bring in $100 or something. It's bizarre, but that's what Zions Bank
Because
does.
they can put it in a machine,
They go to
count
Wells
it,
Fargo.
and wrap it.
Does Wells Fargo do it too?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, we're stuck with Zion, I think, because it's
Well,
county.
anyway, they still haven't charged you for 2023 account.
They did.
Okay, so
They actually,
zero.
oh, it still says 0 on there.
On your
She
Yeah.
She showed me a thing, and I know that's what I had. I need to mention it to them again because
Yeah.
they showed me a sheet where it got entered, where it got taken out. And I said, well, everything I'm seeing is still,
Yeah,
and so I didn't pay attention on Cassell to that, but I'm glad you mentioned that because they still haven't taken it, or for search and rescue.
right, because if you need some money, you can always not give this request.
Well, and that was the thing too. I left a message with search and rescue and I have not heard back. I did not call Jim because it's Brad now, I believe. It's supposed to be Brad Hines. So, I did not hear back from him. And I called him kind of early last week and then I left a message again, today, this morning, because I was like, oh yeah, I never heard from him. So I just said, are you happy with the 10? Because in the past, we've kind of said, well, we could give another 5,
Or you could knock it down to 5.
yeah. So but I didn't hear back, so I don't know. So hopefully I'm gonna, hear back before I go to the commission, but it would be nice, like, if they're saying, oh, we would love to have more money, then I'd be like, well, my stewardship committee, we didn't know in time for my stewardship committee, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, I think would be the proper response. Okay, so back to the narrative, because it's easier to see. Scholarship fund, we should have apprentices next spring. So, unless COVID flares up again, but we just hired 2 seasonals, and so I think we should be fully staffed if they come back in the spring, and then Jason will have more time for us to have apprentices and everything. So I'm gonna keep that scholarship in there. And then discretionary fund, that's always 1,000. So the Slick Rock Trail dumpster fees, I think we're probably looking at 25,000, but I just left it at the same as we had this year. So the reason it's that amount and we're quite a bit lower this year is because we weren't able to get the dumpster last year for the fall. And so I am gonna keep the dumpster and pay the monthly fee, because if I give it back, I'm not gonna get it back. So we're just keeping it and paying the monthly fee, which is, I think, 100. No, I think it's a little more than that. No, that's the dumping is 520 when they
Oh, but if
dump
you
it.
keep it, it's-
I'll keep paying the monthly
Yeah.
fee, but because we always keep it at Slick
Yeah.
Rock, but we were bringing it, just seasonally, just spring and fall at Finn's is what we wanted to do. But we just keep it, and then, we just let it get full in the summer, because if we keep emptying it, people are just gonna bring up their yard waste, their construction waste and stuff. So we just let it fill up, and then if it isn't too horrible to be around it. And then,
No, amazing that you don't spend that much.
Yeah.
Maybe you will next year.
yeah, maybe we'll next year, because we're gonna have more vehicles.
Okay.
And that's the road department, they have discounts for that stuff. I upped the uniform because I have some new people, and actually the jackets, we did find jackets for them that fit from
Right.
past employees that are still in great shape, but I did up it a little because we'll have more people, and we are paying them a little more for their stipend, their uniform stipend as well.
Barely buys a pair of jeans.
Well, they get 150.
I know,
See
you
that?
can't, a pair of jeans is not.
What kind of jeans do you need for Sam Flats as you're working out there?
I got another place you could go. If you know
For
the
Okay.
church.
At least 50.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
they benefited this fall because they're coming on for the fall season and they're getting 150, and then if they
Right.
come back in the spring, they'll get another 150,
Okay.
so that,
Well, and
Should be
number
pretty good.
26, I really think you need to put a budget there. I love small tools. It's zero.
well, the
Nobody
reason
needs a small
that's there,
tool.
no, the reason it's there is because I just throw it into,
Okay.
I just throw it into supplies,
All right, so if someone needs a pair of.
Oh, yeah.
pliers, they get them out of supply.
definitely.
Okay.
Supplies and equipment, it just comes
Alright.
out of there.
I think that's.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, there's no shortage of, if we need tools, we get it. No
Even
problem.
small
You
ones.
may need a lot of
Even small
bandits,
ones.
too.
Even little teeny
Like
ones.
what?
If they can be used at Sound Flats. Okay, and
Printing.
we're printing and publishing. It will be less next year
Okay.
because we printed the visitor guides, the main brochures this year.
Great.
So it'll be less. So insurance, that is calculated by the clerk's office.
It's very low.
And Gabe wasn't exactly sure how that worked. So he was gonna look into it. He thinks it is, or Dana was explaining that it was a per person permanent staff, broken down by, like, there's 4 of us that are permanent, and we have to pay a certain amount of insurance, but I don't really know. And we didn't have that. That came about like 3 years ago or something.
Well,
Suddenly we were
tiny
paying.
amounts
It's a
total
tiny
total.
amount, but
But
I-
also.
I need to
are
have
you
someone
not
ex-
responsible for insurance on the trucks that we have.
It's not auto insurance.
it's not auto.
Who
It's,
pays that?
well, it must come out of this admin thing for the trucks. I guess that's another thing it must come out of. That's a good question though. I'll find out.
Yeah, because, I wouldn't be surprised if it's coming out of,
Maybe it's coming out of that. Maybe that's the amount.
I think it would. be.
Yeah, probably is. I don't know why they have it for people though that are permanent. I have seasonals driving vehicles. And they know that. So, all right, well, he was gonna get back to me on that.
Okay, your capital improvements and equipment are both way down for 2024.
Okay,
10,000 less.
yeah, so remember, we didn't spend the money for capital improvements. What we are spending is, we're not gonna do anything to the entrance station.
Okay,
The Square credit card system has just sped everything up. And we are not having the issues we were, we were having the issues with COVID, having people having to get out, but also, I mean, the outfitters are telling us we're not having to wait, they're happy. So they're the barometer, and at the most, somebody has to wait 15 minutes, and that was like maybe 3 weekends, out of the whole spring, that we had some lines where people had to wait a little bit. But in general, there's hardly any waiting. So, and remember, Dead Horse has 1 million visitors in one booth.
Yeah.
And we have 250,000 one booth. So we're not there. We don't need to do anything. So, after a year and a half or maybe 2 years of looking at that and the numbers and stuff. And so what I want to do next year is, we want to do some improvements to the booth. We built the booth in 2010. We've never repainted the inside. So we're going to repaint, and we're going to just fix some of the countertops, and we might try to make them a little more ergonomically, work better at the window, for left-handed and right-handed people. And I think maybe have, just one of those desks, like people have their computers, their keyboards, then you can lower it or raise it, just get one of those in there. And I mean, that's not gonna cost that much, but, and then so paint it inside and out and just spruce it up. Yeah. Yeah, it's been long enough for that. And then this new pedestrian path grant match, that's actually not exactly new to you folks. And we have slides later on in the PowerPoint, but that's if we decided to continue, and you folks voted in favor in the past, but I think I have a meeting with Maddie and Tyson tomorrow. I think we should really look at it all again, but it was the idea that we would have this 6-foot wide path that goes from campground F to campground D. And it would be for all user groups, it would be like you can have families, universal trail. And so,
Multimodal.
right, multimodal.
Universally multimodal.
I think it'd help with the multiple trail.
So anyway,
Working with you.
that's a RTP grant. And
Right.
so, Maddie and I would write it together next year.
I think it would get a lot of use.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would be. Now, the other thing though, is Tyson has talked about a single track on the north side of the road that would take people, because what's going to happen this fall is they're going to build Kestrel, right? So that's going to avoid the crack, which is wonderful, and come out in campground H, Hawk. And then it's on the road. You do have that one curve that's not so great going past F. And the archaeologists did survey it into F, but we'd have to lose some more campsites and kind of, I don't know, let's just kind of see how it goes, I guess. But anyway, and so he had talked about putting something on the other side of the road, a single track. So it'd be totally different.
Connect them behind F and down to.
Well, you'd have to
C.
cross the road somewhere. I guess you'd be on, if you cross, well, you wouldn't cross an H, but you'd probably go up to the radio tower, that road, and then you'd get on that side there and then go to C. But the thing that I really don't want to build another parking lot. Slick Rock is not full like it used to be. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe we need to connect this thing to Slick Rock. And
multimodal, or if there was a single track.
well, I don't know.
Or the single track coming down.
Yeah, single track coming down. Yeah, something. I mean, we have to really think about it and look. And I'm going to talk to Tyson and Maddie tomorrow because he's been thinking about it.
Do you remember when Cliff
Yeah.
had outlined
I
that
know.
single track from Pins and Things?
Yeah, he wanted
Slick
that to
Rock.
go, and and the BLM has had a lot of concerns with that, and so, but that will be
Multimodal
Well,
yeah, we can.
I
look at
thought
that.
it was just people getting lost on Slick
No,
Rock,
it
but
was,
there's too many
it was
intersections.
more than single tracks, it was 2 tracks converging on a single track, was the conflict.
Yeah, we're worried about the UTVs coming up there, or ATVs
But
and
it
getting
did
on
give
it.
people a campground area.
What? Oh,
Or
that
the
trail,
idea
the
of
idea.
People just leaving from the camp.
Yeah. So we kind of have to think about if we have this trail that goes from campground F to campground D, then like, how do you get, like, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
You know? If we're
I
gonna
think
like
it-
have
I
a
think-
park at Slick Rock,
Trail access from the campsites would be great,
yeah,
especially after
Yeah.
moving the trails out of
That's
the
something.
campsites. Then it's, which I think was good.
Yeah.
But now it's. gonna
Nice,
go.
Matt.
Oh,
Thank
Matt,
you,
you're a
Matt.
master.
he is. So it's really kind of thinking about, well, I like the Google better. Yeah, so, do I have a mouse or you?
Go up towards
Okay.
H.
Yeah, so I,
Oh, no, it's better the other way, I think. Oh, well, we know what's gonna, okay, go to H. You can go over to H, Matt. Thanks.
it loops onto the practice loop. of Slick Rock.
What just happened?
Well, now I'm lost.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
there's
Yeah,
H,
so
there's
this
H.
Yeah, so Kestrel's gonna come down.
And Matt, you know, in my PowerPoint, I have that other map that Tyson did, that is it is a Google, and it has it drawn in. So we could, keep go, yeah, let's get to, they're right there. Just if you can blow that up. So the Kestrel is the green and the pink red is the Kestrel. So like the green is where it's coming from the Falcon Flow parking lot. And then it's crossing at Pinion Trail there, taking part of Pinion Trail, and then it goes in pink down to H, and you can see he actually has it drawn all the way to, well, kind of, yeah, he has the whole thing,
But
it
isn't
turns to
that
purple.
The modal one, the F,
Purple.
Yes,
Yeah.
from F, the purple is the multimodal one.
right,
And so then you get to D, and see, he
Right.
just kind of ends it, because it's like, well,
right.
what do we do? So we need to figure that out, but I'm kind of the thought that we should just figure out how we can link it to Slick Rock parking lot.
Well, it would be that way we walked with Cliff, back it would go.
Well, not
I
if it's
mean,
on the
that's-
south
Yeah, but
side of the
that's-
road, it could, yeah,
Well,
no,
there's
that's the north side though with Cliff. If it
Well,
stays over here,
Oh.
then we could think about, we need to just
Well,
walk out there and
there's
think about
geology.
it.
Gate right in here, isn't there?
That's like,
Yeah.
Search and rescue,
Yeah.
You might be able to like jump on a shelf.
Yeah, we just need to get out there and really look. There's probably a way.
I think that's a good idea though.
Yeah, I think it should link to Slick Rock. I don't want to build another parking lot. And it's not filling up right now anyway, so you know, why not? So, yeah, let's really, we'll figure this out, and we have our meeting in December. We can just really figure out what we want to do, vote on it, or I don't know if we need to vote, but
Yeah, so
yeah.
we got on this because you were talking, you were gonna put in for a grant.
Yeah, we are putting in for the
Okay.
grant,
Okay,
Maddie and I, for the purple line,
gotcha.
but we're gonna we'll get this figured out. But we don't put in for the grant till like February. So we have time to, I mean, I don't think it's due till March, or I have to check with her.
If the paving project goes through, or when the paving project goes through, would there be any blasting where the road is now? That's Slick Rock there?
Possibly right there past Slick Rock, because you have that
Right,
rock
right.
shelf on the right there near the patrol bike parking. And they're probably gonna need to widen if we're gonna put bike lanes on either side. Maybe if this all happens, we won't put bike lanes. I don't know, we'll just pave the road. But
Or
bike lanes
maybe
would be
the bike
nice.
lane is the connector.
Or maybe the bike lane's the connector. Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe the bike lane's the connector, and then you just go up from the parking lot, you go on the bike lane, then you get on the trail. I mean, you're only going, I mean, it's not even it's like a half mile
Yeah.
By
we're not
car.
going that far.
from on the road, and you could jump on it. I mean, it's a half mile to the end of pavement. It would be a little less because you'd probably jump on, you know, before campground D. We have to figure out how it's gonna go through the campground too, like, should be behind the campground, or, you know, like, how are we gonna do it? So it doesn't disturb campers, but then it's also accessible for campers. Yeah, anyway, all those little details that can get worked out. So, yeah, so we will go for that grant. I did not hear from Bill Jackson yet. He's been very busy. They've been mag chloriding the road. It's gonna be awesome. They've been working on it for like 2 days, making it really nice. And for prepping it for the mag chloride today. But he gave me a quote of 250,000 a few years ago to do that purple one. Total, but you know, that was a few years ago, 2 years ago, I guess. So I'm gonna meet with him definitely before I come to you guys with budget. So I can say, hey, what do you think? Should I say like 300,000 or 275? And then figure it's a 50% match and we'll budget that. And of course, you know, we're not gonna probably use it next year. Maybe we'll use some of it next year. So I think I'm probably still fine thinking of it as 125,000. Because if we get the grant, we won't know till the fall, so maybe we'll start something in November, you know, or earlier, but we won't spend all of it. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. And I have a fund balance. We can come back to you guys and.
Right.
So,
Okay, so you're working on that.
yep,
Can I get a copy of that map?
Yeah.
With,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can just digitally send it to you.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I send it to everybody.
I suppose you want colored lines.
I want them, I
Just
actually
like
want
it.
little bicycles on where the bicycles can go.
Well, Jason could do it, no problem.
Baby strollers.
Baby strollers on, it has to have every icon. for every
I
user.
thought
Trees on
we
it,
had
she'll get
it
it.
passed out
Oh,
before.
oh, yeah.
We might have, we've looked at it
Trees.
before.
Right.
You guys, it's been around for 2 years, I
Yeah.
think.
We've had some. So then as we work our way.
Down the budget,
Through the budget, what do we say about?
the capital
keeping-
equipment,
No, about keeping the
Oh.
budget the same as 2023. Cause all these numbers, some numbers went way down, like capital equipment.
yeah, it's gonna be close. Yeah, I actually I should go back to my
So
desk, I had a
events
total.
are 0 to 4% down, or maybe in other areas, they might go down next year by 15%.
Well, remember, we changed the fees. So I think we're gonna, you know,
Right.
we're gonna bring in, and we can, I mean, originally we were thinking we would bring in, if we had passed it in January, we thought we'd bring in another 175,000 this year. So
That'll
next
pay-
year, we'll probably bring in 175,000.
That'll
you
pay
know,
for Dale's party.
So capital equipment, this I'm sure looks familiar to Jennifer. We may purchased a Roxanne Star recreational fee collection system.
So
Maybe.
Star is the company out of Sisters, Oregon, and the ROC stands for Remote Off-Grid.
Oh, let me put
Kiosk.
that in there. Thank you.
And we just had another one installed out at Ledge B in the last month. I very potentially may be getting 1 or 2 more, so let's coordinate. So if they're coming to Moab, they're coming to Moab for 2
Oh, that'd be
days.
nice. That'd be nice because they're kind of pricey for that installation fee.
That's the installation fee, and then it's 2,500 annually,
I know.
but
Jason, I've had Jason doesn't think we should get it
where are you thinking of installing it?
at the booth.
Yeah, so one of the things I'm working on with the company, and that's why I say I may get 1 or 2, is I'd like to, and this is all a programmer piece, and I haven't circled back with them in the last 3.5 weeks, so I need to get back with them, but I'd like to test run a new version, which would be on Potash Road at the pullout before you lose cell coverage. And what we want to test run is to have all the available campsites, and when a campsite is purchased, it's no longer in inventory. So it'd be the opposite of what we've always trained people to do, which is go get your campsite, then go make your payment. This would be a portal opportunity of, hi, I'm at this portal. And yeah, for people coming in through Schaefer Trail or Long Canyon, it's not gonna work. But the vast majority, I think, of the
Coming that
residential
way.
is coming in. So it's an idea, we'll see if it works. If they can make the mechanics of it happen, then we have bigger plans where we move the one that's currently at Big Bend Campground to the Colorado River Day Use. It'd be signing, of course, and then we'd move the one from Hill.
You see her.
Oh, that's okay.
There.
I don't need to be on the camera. Hi, Matt. But anyway, so that's just for your awareness of we're trying to tweak what they have a little bit. I think there are 16 already deployed on BLM lands. There's tons on the Forest Service, and then
In
there.
the nation?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Horse Thief Campground here was the second one as a pilot, and that was 2 years ago. It paid for itself in the first couple of months
Yeah.
in terms of and I'm sorry I didn't come prepared with revenue, but let's see, was it by April or May we had collected over $70,000 through the rock, which is not envelopes, which is not cash handling, which is not fee canisters and all that. So it's one of those times money's time pieces.
But for us, with the
For you-
booth open from 7:30 or 8 to 5:30 each day, you know,
It may
4 or
not
5:30,
be
we're
more.
collecting a lot of the money. And then when we open up that pipe safe in the morning, at the most, there's $200 in it.
I see
So
people using,
what-
the cell.
And we have the online payment with Square, so for day use. So we have that, so there's already an online way to pay, so the only way I look at it is it's more, maybe
cash.
more noticeable to people pulling in. But
Well,
I'm
it's-
thinking about changing over our signs a little bit so that I'm really sure they're seeing that pipe safe. I mean, we have it lit up, we have it on it, the one sign by the window is a little high, I thought, oh, maybe we need to bring it down after all these years. I don't know, something, there's still people that don't see it. And I don't know if they're just blind, but,
Two other
so,
benefits of the rock that we've found is you can do it in multiple languages, which is helpful. And then we also piloted selling wood up at Horse Thief, wood bundles.
yeah, we
which
used to
was
do that
great.
years ago at Snail Flats, and then I guess we got away from it before I was manager, Michael got away from it.
Or if you move your pipe, I know you don't have anywhere that was like, pay here, like they're like, woohoo, we got to the booth, no one was there. And then there's another thing that says pay, and they'd be like, oh, we better pay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, another one
Right.
further in.
Or if you did something like this, just a little further in, like, just so people are.
Yeah, well, that's another thing about the booth, it's not obviously ideal, because, people pull, when it's slow, it's fine, people pull up, they pay, and there is room for people to go around. But we thought about, well, maybe we should have a separate place for when we're
Pull up,
closed,
okay.
on the right, when you pull up, there's an eyebrow, and they go in there and pay, so that you're not in the line of traffic, because, people are out walking around, and probably be safer for people.
Yeah, I think you definitely have a different scenario where you have a booth that's staffed.
Yeah, definitely in the evening, because there are a lot of vehicles that go up. But most of them are tours, that go up, so that doesn't affect them, but there are privates that come up and do the trails, and how many of them pay, I don't know. Maybe more would pay. So,
We've found, I believe,
for you guys,
I don't have-
perfect.
solid research, but I believe anecdotally that we have higher fee compliance regardless of whether we have a camp host, simply because you can't cheat the rock. It prints out these lovely little receipts
Yeah, that's
that are
what that
easier
was
to read
showing.
than the fee stub. You can see them from quite a ways away, and either
Yeah.
you paid or you didn't. Whereas with the envelopes, you can put the little stub up there and nobody's not gonna know right then.
Like that, yeah.
People do that?
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
heard
no,
of
it's
that.
crazy.
So,
I haven't either.
what I do is, other staff as well, some of them do it, but every patrol I do, I write down all the numbers, and when I get back to the booth, I check all the envelopes, and it is extremely rare that they do not match.
That's great.
So, I just kind of do it like for the auditor. Like,
So this
okay,
might
we're
not
checking
really
them every week.
apply, because you have staff and you're checking your campgrounds, and because of your not reservation, I don't think this is great for you, because you're first come, first serve.
Well, so are those, for these guys, they're first
Yeah,
come, first served.
It's all first
Oh.
come, first serve.
Yeah.
I think they're great for our scenario, and happy to answer more questions.
Well, I
We
thought
can
I'd
move on.
budget for it, and then
Yeah, we should talk about more, just, I got to find a budget for it, I mean, that's the best thing, because I think we have money in the fund balance, and I don't have to go to the commission to get the money moved over.
Sure.
And then, we can just really dive into it, and
And where you are, you
think
have
about it.
cellular connectivity, so you wouldn't even need to sync it.
And we have electricity there,
Yep.
What do you have on?
so it's cheaper, it's a cheaper unit,
Kinslake
because we have
is,
electricity.
it's the reservations through rec.gov for the main loops A and B, and then C is first come, first serve, and it's scan and pay, which is the rec.gov app. This is totally separate from rec.gov at this point in time.
Yeah, when Matt camped up at Horse Deep last year, right, Matt, and you brought me back the receipt or something, or
Oh,
took a picture
nice.
of it,
Good job, Matt.
and he said that, he showed me, I was like, wow, that's really nice.
Not only did he camp at Horse Deep, but he paid his camping fee. Check that out.
Of
Oh,
course.
Hey, I pay it things like,
Hey, come on.
Let's see, we're almost done with this.
I like the machine.
he likes.
Yeah,
to-
Matt likes it.
Me too.
Okay, inventory office equipment. Okay, what that is, the 2,500. That's why I was getting confused because I was like, wait a minute, office 22,250. So this is, and I haven't heard back from Matt Seniceros yet, but Maddie and I are planning on going in on a system like they have in the chambers, commission chambers, where you guys have a nice big screen like that, TV screen. And we have an owl thing, so anybody that talks will be on it. And so when she got the quote like a year and a half ago from Matt, it was like 3,200. So I was hoping to hear from him, but I still haven't heard back from him on what he thinks it is now. But it would be nice because it's harder for them to get the chambers. You know, they have trouble sometimes with
But
their
you only
meetings.
raised your budget to 1,000 more, not 3,200 more.
Yeah, but the reason I didn't, well,
Okay.
she's gonna split it with me.
Okay,
Plus, we did get 2 new laptops this year, not
Okay.
one, I'm sorry, and my computer. So I think we're in good shape
all right,
for a few years.
okay.
So so that's why I upped that. And here's your inventory tools as
Yeah,
well. Doesn't say
alright.
small, but
It's still small.
the small ones come out of supplies. And staff training, and revegetation restoration, those are just the same as they were, and the camp host is fine. So, are you upping how much do you pay for camp host stipend?
25 first year, and I think we're up to 35 for returnees.
35 a day? 35 a day. Oh, I'm fine.
We can go to 40, but we haven't yet.
Yeah,
So-
I'm right in line with you guys.
Anyway, yeah, several things went way down, some things went up, and it's all.
Kind of evens
pretty
out.
Tight, but without knowing if maybe there's a way to stop the county from constantly raising salaries.
Constantly
But
raising salaries. Well, oh yeah, some of the other,
they're on a, increase,
About raising taxes, truly.
yeah, well, anyway, the county is, what do you call that? It's like
A
everyone
cost of living
constantly,
adjustment.
yeah.
oh yeah, that was a big one. That was the
Maybe-
biggest ever. We had like 8.7
No,
or
it's,
something.
it's written in, it's always gonna keep happening.
But it's not gonna be the same percentage. The commission decides.
Yeah, well, if there's any way to stop the salaries from constantly increasing, there'd be a way to keep the budget.
Mine hasn't constantly
Oh.
increased.
Okay.
We brought the seasonals up.
Okay.
I mean, mine has just been locked in. The managers have just been locked into, okay, we're lucky that we get a milestone. And if you participate in a milestone every 2 years, if you're satisfactory evaluation, and then if you participate in the individual development program, you can get a raise every year. And so I do get a 3% every year. But until the COLA is on top of that. But my seasonals also. Yeah, yeah, but the seasonals, they bumped up because of the competition with other jobs in Moab. It was really hard to get people.
Yeah.
So my understanding, but definitely some of those individual jobs did go up that are, right? I mean, different departments, I haven't paid so much attention to them. I just focus on my
Yeah, I
department.
would anticipate COLA wages going up with all the inflation that's happening.
And that's the commission that decides that. So yes, you are talking to the right thing, the commission. Okay, so what do we have next? So, okay, so we did our narrative. And so you folks are fine with, and I'm sorry that I didn't have, Matt, can you just go back to the budget sheet one more time, the spreadsheet? Because what I printed out, I didn't print out in color. No, the other one.
The other one?
So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have the search and rescue or the toilet or the insurance, or I'll find out about the grant there, and inventory office, I'm just waiting for Matt Sinisteros to be sure for the owl and the screen. So anyway, people just haven't gotten back to me. And I've been
Well,
pretty
those
persistent.
are, I mean, it's all really minor.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
capital equipment went down, in the
Yeah, because,
20s of thousands. So the point is just whatever the salaries do.
right.
Yeah.
And benefits. And I think the benefits are gonna be pretty similar to what they are. I don't think the health insurance is gonna go way up. I thought Renee said that. She's HR.
No,
So,
but benefits are kind of pegged to wages too, so.
Yeah.
Your wages go up, your benefits go up also.
right, because you're,
It's a percentage.
right, true, very true.
Would it be beneficial to put in, say the $3,200 there for stewardship committee to have approved and already have it moved through? Or not
For
necessarily?
the, rock,
No, for the owl on screen,
I know that's.
Well,
what-
it won't be 3,200 because Maddie and I are gonna split it.
so.
Okay.
So 1,600, and I brought it up, so I think we're fine.
You only brought it up by 1,000, but okay.
What did I do?
It's,
25, but like I said, I'm not gonna be buying any computers next year,
right,
Hmm.
okay.
so we should be fine.
Great, great.
Cause that isn't one that we always pull out of anyway, it'll come in under budget
Yeah.
lots of times. And the other thing is, it's kind of weird, is you see how I have this inventory, which is just like a general one? There's 800 and then inventory office is 800, 100 and inventory tools is 800, 200. I can pull from this general inventory into my 800, 100. If I need to, so.
Yeah.
We're fine. We should be fine. And thank you for really looking at everything. I so appreciate it. And I need to definitely get after the clerk's office to really make sure. I mean, Christy sent me a thing that showed that they took out the 40,920 and the 10,000, but then I'm like, why does it still, it didn't show up in what she sent me? Didn't show up in this. Still showed as not taken out for last year when I got the December one.
Yeah.
Because I asked for the December one to be printed again of end of year 2022, still didn't show it out, even though she was printing it in, August. And then she showed me the sheet where it came out, but then it's not out in the Cassell. So, okay. All right, so where are we? 4 o'clock already. All right, so I guess we're good with budget, right? Everybody's.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can get onto our nomination for Hell's Revenge as a National Recreation Trail letter. And I know you guys voted for this last time, and actually I would have. Anyway, it's here. It hasn't been sent yet by Bill Stevens. He has the copy, but if you guys see, I sent it to you earlier, but if you see anything that's wrong with it, we can still treat this as a draft and fix it. I don't know why it shows things are not spelled right or something.
What main concern should be capitalized, whatever that's like.
Oh, yeah. Why is that like that? Thank you. Thank you.
It's in Flats mission. Does it need to possess it? No.
Maybe.
No.
No,
Flats recreation area.
could say the Sand Flats Recreation Area. That would be better.
Mission.
Mission of the San Francisco Recreation Area is to.
Well, Bill Stevens started really wordsmithing this. And all I wrote to him was, well, can you just tell me some statistics? And then it came back and he totally switched everything around. And then I went and switched a bunch of it back. I was like, no. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be coming from me and the committee. I mean, although now you guys are seeing it, so you can contribute. But I was like, this is just like edit, it's like just opinion of what paragraph you think should be first. And I put it back. So I'm sorry, I must have, something weird happened here with the Sand Flats. So the Sand Flats the mission of the Sand Flats Recreation Area.
There you go.
I don't mean to say anything bad about Bill. I just was surprised how much wordsmithing he did on me. And so I kind of just put stuff back as best I can.
Scroll down some, Matt.
For whatever it's worth, if you're saying that second paragraph, the mission of the Sand Flats Recreation Area, you can put the parentheses SFRA. And then in this third paragraph, after Dead Horse Point State Park, visitors come to SFRA.
Yeah, you can start using the acronym.
Now, isn't Mickey's Hot Tub on private?
Wait, where do you say after visitors? Where are you saying that? What was the sentence you read? Matt, scroll down a little bit.
So you were right here,
Yeah.
And did what you did with the.
and then here you put SFRA.
Oh, okay. That I was in the right place. Mickey's is on BLM. It's the
It
only
is?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
No, that's fine. Yeah, because none of the other ones really are on BLM. Should say of. House Revenge is a popular trail for events for almost every type of vehicle. That's the second to last paragraph. Should say of. House Revenge is a
Of
popular
instead
trail
of
for,
Well,
no,
you
no,
can
for
edit this
events
to that.
of almost every type. Okay, whatever. For, I guess, okay.
The trail's accessibility to the town, I don't think that's the right word. I think it's the trail's proximity
To the
to
town.
the town,
That was
Yeah.
Bill.
close proximity.
That was Bill. So,
Let's
let's change it.
That's not,
Oh, you did?
that's not proper English, right?
Where
We're not
are,
talking about
oh, there it is,
Paragraph,
accessibility,
yeah.
proximity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I changed this to was, I don't remember exactly, but he said Moab City, and I said, and you have town of Moab, I said downtown Moab.
Okay.
And it's right there in the hub, it's so close.
To downtown.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because there at the last paragraph, it says SFRA.
Oh, yeah, let's just have that way up above. Oh, that's because, yeah, things got moved around. Okay. Okay. Boy, I appreciate you guys looking at this.
Instead of House Revenge is a popular trail for events, maybe I already said this, but popular trail used by permitted events. And then just list them out.
Which paragraph are you in again?
Can't go up, save the
The second to last paragraph? Oh, what did you suggest? It's the
Popular
second.
trail for events for almost every type of four-wheel drive vehicle.
Now down,
Down.
Down, Matt.
Down,
Matt, go to the bottom.
there,
The fourth one.
it's the second from last.
Yeah. House Revenge is a popular trail for events for almost every type of 4x4 vehicle. And you're saying change it to
Permitted events.
Well, it should be permitted, yes, first of all.
For
but I
permit-
don't know, do we really gain much by calling out different vehicle types?
Yeah.
Would be my question.
I wouldn't recommend that.
How about for,
Cause then we're gonna
right,
forget
for
something.
all types of 4x4 vehicles?
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Or instead of almost every, you
right,
just say
all types.
many types or all types or,
Of 4x4 vehicles.
you know.
Almost.
Well, and I
every-
mean, it's motorized vehicles, right? Because it's motorcycle as well.
Oh, want to say motorized vehicles?
Off-road.
No, don't use that.
That's illegal.
Okay, one more
For an
nitpicky
off-road
thing,
vehicle to be
go
on
back up
off-road.
just a little bit.
See, we try not to use the term off-road.
Oh,
because
just
the
trying to-
connotation,
We're
so we
trying
say
to
off-road
train them.
vehicle.
Which one?
Okay,
Then you
Ah,
say
good
off-road.
this is super minor, but estimate that these 40,000, it didn't really say what they're talking about, so you could just say 40 of use, you could get rid of these. You could say, estimate that 40,000 users,
Okay,
because who are
yeah.
these 40,000 users?
okay.
Well, if I'm here, it's one.
I count a half.
Did you ever get your black strip counter things worth counting? Are there 40,000 users?
That's based on the, well, we have other counters,
So,
so,
or what's the remit number? What's the remit number for 2023 of people?
it's 184,000, I think, for 2022.
Okay, thanks.
But then that doesn't include that's the remit number.
Yeah.
That doesn't include the events.
Out or the alternate,
Right, doesn't include events or outfitters.
but they're not all those people are doing this. Yes, or
Hell's Revenge.
Excuse me, Hell's Revenge.
Okay, thank you. I think I got it. All right, so we're still okay, right? If I send this to Bill,
Yeah.
okay.
I would just sign it.
I already sent them a signed one actually, because I sent it like a few weeks ago because I wasn't thinking, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, stewardship meeting, let's have them look at it at this point.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I'll
at
tell
At
him,
that time, Billy said they wanted it right away.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded like he wanted it, so,
I
and
thought
then he
we
said,
had hashed it out,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
thought he wanted
we
it, but,
approved it.
yeah, so. Well, you hadn't seen this though, you just
No,
voted
talked
to,
about it.
we talked about what we wanted in it. Okay, so some of these are pretty quick. You remember you watched the OHV education course put together by Mark Finley last time. So it was approved and it's online on the Travel Council website. The Raptor route, this is redundant, but anyway, it's gonna start here. I think Katie thought it was gonna start Public Lands Day, but they're gonna start a week earlier. They're gonna start next week, working on the Kestrel Trail. And then International Dark Sky, we only did 2 events so far. Hopefully we're gonna do 2 more. Waiting to hear back from Crystal on schedule for that. The fee change, that was implemented August 15th. We've already talked about that. And then Jennifer, do you know anything more about the youth grant?
Yes, so I reached out to them last week. As you know, Rochelle vacated her position. They are not filling behind her. So apparently there is I think interagency agreement is the right term, that BLM is providing the IBC, which is Interior Business Center, financial resources so that they will process our assistance agreements. So I actually had some correspondence with Maddie last week about this, and was going to mention this to you today. They believe that it's going to be processed and available before the end of this calendar year. That being said, I think we should check again the first week in October and the first week in November, and if it's not moved by that point, check weekly.
Okay.
And it should be the same process. We're never gonna get another Rochelle. So essentially, when they reach out to you as the grants management officer, it's supposed to be seamless, because apparently this person that's pushing it was previously a BLM employee and knows our language.
Okay.
So we'll see,
Hopefully.
but they are absolutely in process as they were submitted in April. It just has been broken system, and so I had to talk with our state office contracting officer who had the trail mix one but didn't have this one.
Oh.
And so we had to go back into email
Find
and
it.
find it, and it exists in our
Well, thank
Route
you.
3.
Wow.
So it's 15.
Definitely exists.
Oh yeah, no,
Somewhere.
it definitely exists, and she now knows exactly where it is, and she put the little toggle box to in process. So yeah, that's
Instead of like,
that's the-
we rejected this.
Instead of we don't know what we're doing
Yeah, right. Well, good.
So it's
Good.
a process, and hopefully before the end of this calendar year, we will have. and
Oh,
it's for
again,
No, I don't need to
I'm
get
the
a camera,
worst.
It's fine.
I don't think but see, it's getting recorded on YouTube, so I don't wanna look at my face the whole time.
Is out.
I don't want them to have to see that.
not the whole
Gotta get the
time.
owl.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna get
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, that's why I'm pushing for the owl.
Should've bought stock in owl 2.5 years ago.
Well, there's another version is what they put at the planning and zoning offices. They have something else. It's not an owl. It's a camera on the bottom of the TV. And it actually like, well, I don't know if the owl does the same thing. Like it'll zoom in when you start talking.
Owl does that.
The owl does that too.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little spooky.
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of stuff.
Okay. So, then again, Jennifer, the next one, the GPRA
Yeah,
survey.
So I checked on this one, and we should have something in the mail next week, if not the following week, because we're supposed to start October 1. and
What's the
January.
acronym for that? Do you know?
I'd have to look it up.
But it's a visitor satisfaction
visitor
survey that
Thank
the
you,
BLM,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and so it's for Hell's Revenge.
for Hell's Revenge.
And as soon as we get our box full of surveys, we'll be in touch and we'll coordinate scheduling and times and all that.
And it sounded like we could do it quick if we wanted to. Like, didn't you say we could like do it in 8 days if we just like did it intensely?
Let's wait till it gets here and see.
Look
what's
at it.
different. Yeah.
Because I talked to Anna Sprout and they might be interested in helping
Nice to help
us.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be great.
that would be nice. I did just get 2 new employees that seem really good, so we've got more staff to help with it too,
Awesome.
which is great.
But yeah, we should have the box next week or the following week. The other thing that we don't have yet that should be here by now, but isn't, is the National Public Lands Day t-shirts.
Oh, they're not here yet.
What color?
Are they blue again? Are they a different color?
So I gotta determine whether you
I
work or
wanna
not.
say they're orange, but don't quote me.
Yeah, orange.
Time for hunting.
Was
Season.
it?
I have sources off like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't, yeah, I haven't seen them, so.
Okay, and I should have had a picture of like people on Hell's Revenge, but I was just kind of thinking visitor satisfaction. We got a lot of happy people here camping, so. But it'll focus on the trail and not camping,
Right,
so.
correct. And I think it'll probably be after the fact, but when and if we do get the National Recreation Trail designation, we could feed some of that information together with our press release and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay, Matt, you can go to the next one. Oh, wait, before we talk about that, didn't I have something else? Okay, so we already talked about this. The OHV grant application, I decided not to apply because it seemed like it had some more hoops that were gonna be interesting to try to meet. So, we went ahead and purchased a motorcycle. So we are in the right place, Matt, sorry. Went ahead and got our motorcycle. It was about $9,000, $9,500. Then we got some accessories for it. So we're probably up to about 1,100 now. But, just yesterday, Brendan McGann took it out.
Great.
And he just took it on the road, but he'll take it on the trail on
He's a good
Monday.
rider.
He's a good rider. And Matt, you want to take it out? It's Brendan's size, so it should be good for both of you guys.
Brendan should not let
Yeah.
you out that doesn't pass a motorcycle test.
Right, well, Matt has the background, but that's it.
Nice.
Those are the only 2. We did hire Dave Lohner, but he is a big guy. And Brendan felt like it wasn't really set up for him, and
Dave has a lot of bikes.
Dave has a lot of bikes, but they're supposed to be, right, according to Quinn Hall, some things. Well, we never had a motorcycle before, but we had the Rokon, but anyway, that was years ago. But for liability and stuff, they really want people to be riding county equipment and not
Why
personal.
is Dave Lohner a county employee?
We just hired him.
Oh, okay. great.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the one guy that sued Sandflex.
He sued us.
Isn't he the guy who got hit going the wrong way?
He didn't sue
Yes.
us.
So
I
I
never
thought
knew
that
that.
was.
He didn't,
person.
and he was fine, but he didn't
Oh.
sue us.
He's great, but he hits them. No, he didn't hit anything, it's fine.
But you hit things like that. Yeah.
Well, he
People-
ended up under a UTV, I think, but he wasn't hurt.
And that's what instigated.
Well,
the
see,
way.
TV part, it's her fault.
Yeah, that's what started the
That's
discussion
what
with the
started
one way
it
with
all.
Rocksmith and he came to talk to me and I said, well, why don't you talk to Rocksmith?
Okay. Well,
So-
great.
So
E-bike.
we got an e-bike. It's right in the closet in the next room. It's used. It is a 2022, lightly used. It was a rental. It's from the Double Down Bike Shop in town. And we just got that last week.
Yay, how exciting.
We just got two as well.
You did?
And Southeast Utah group from the National Park Service just got a fleet as well.
Wow.
It's a thing.
Where are they gonna go with theirs? On White Rim?
I
Anywhere
can't
they
speak for
want.
them.
They can't go on a, yeah, they have to be,
Right.
they can only go on, yeah, they don't, anyway.
Well,
One
how
of the
much
reasons
was
why
your-
we did was simply we can't get vehicles to get us to the places we need to go. And so this is
Great
a
thing.
model to try.
Yeah.
Right, right.
I mean, you can't carry nearly as much as you may like to, but let's try it.
But
Well-
how much runtime do you have on that?
I don't have it in front of me.
Approximately
It's,
80 miles or something.
it's
depending
not
on your
much. Oh, what do you
speed
mean
and whatnot.
runtime? Oh, runtime, how long you be on it? Yeah, I think that's right.
I mean, it depends how much you're pedaling and what you're using and all that.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
approximately-
no problem to
Because you
do.
can have assist on it or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem
Different
to
levels
do.
of assist.
How much was your double down e-bike?
It's under 5,000.
Great.
5,000, under 5,000. And then this is, I couldn't find for some reason, I did find the 2024 online later, but I couldn't figure out how to save it. So anyway, this is a 2023, but the 2024 looks similar. And so then we would transfer our Kawasaki Mule that I think is a 2017 to maintenance. I talked to Sean and he's very excited about that. So, and we'll have this one. Because we really don't like to take that mule out on the trail anymore, because it's just, trails are just too rough for that thing. You know, it's got a bench, you sit on a bench. I mean, here you're strapped in, it's very uncomfortable to ride the mule.
Yeah, but they'll get good use with him. It's a better place for him.
Yeah, it'd be really good for them. So, okay, so I've been talking about them. So Emily Sukanik,
Why does that
and
name sound familiar?
she did work for the city. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
She worked for the city at the pool and she,
Recreation at the city too, before the pool.
yeah.
So you might know her from like kids'
I just
sports.
know the name of it familiar.
Yeah, from kids' sports. So she's been in Moab off and on for,
She's been a server, she's been a guide.
yep. And she was a 4x4 guide in down in Arizona at Sedona. And then Dave Lohner, probably know him. So he had his
Clementi.
own motorcycle company, which he is going to sell, I think. And he's just working for us 2 days a week, and she's working 4 days a week. So we had a lot of applicants. We had like 35 applicants. Now, some of them were just putting it in for, get their unemployment or whatever. But I started with, actually the ones that were in Moab were the most qualified, it appeared. They had sent letters, there were a lot of interest. And so we interviewed 5 and we narrowed it down to 5, and then we hired these 2. And I was gonna, after that, I was like, okay, then we'll go outside of Moab, but really my most qualified were in Moab. So, but it's always, housing is an issue. So
That's awesome.
always glad we got people here, and hopefully they'll stick around for a while and want to work here. Yeah, and no applicants for stewardship. Now I did put it in the paper in the typical notice of board vacancy format. It was in the Times Independent. I did link to it on our Facebook page. It is on the website. So I had it in the,
talked with Jason Farad about this, and I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, but the fellow that owns the motorcycle tour company on the south and west side of town. We were talking about maybe trying to
talk to
that
him.
individual in. I don't know. I've been thinking, trying to figure out.
Well, maybe, we'll just,
I mentioned it to a member of the motorized trails committee, and they meet today also.
oh, yeah.
We had met, yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
already met.
Yeah, okay. Did it come up in the meeting?
Nope.
No.
Sorry.
But before you got here, we were mentioning that we might have the motorized part covered, and so just any number.
Right, because
Yeah.
originally these guys were brought in as mountain bike, but they both are motorized too, because you ride Jeeps and motorcycles and. So
Yeah,
maybe
so
we
just
should just
another-
not say
Guide.
motorized.
Yeah.
They should just say motorized or non-motorized or something. So, yeah,
That large.
yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So they could be a mountain biker.
Yeah, I mean, just 3 across, we seem heavily motorized.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if,
so I just,
I think
Yeah,
if it's called out in the bylaws, the makeup, it would just mean swapping one of you to the motorcycle truck and then.
yeah.
having
Well,
somebody
it
come
actually-
with you.
doesn't specifically say 2 of this and 2 of that. It just says make sure that the committee
Represented.
represents all user groups. So both motorized and non-motorized, it does spell that out. But okay, yeah, we probably, there's a lot of mountain bikers, so. in the Community as well, so might make them interested if they see it written differently. Because, they probably might have been interested, but then they saw motorized and they said, no, not interested, so, yeah. Okay. Okay, next one, Matt, please. Oh, there's our fugitive dust picture on Flats Road from Mark Finley. Okay, so the next one, Matt, just talking about the raise grant. Here is a copy of the ratings. I was in a debrief meeting, I don't know, 2 weeks ago with Dan Stenta and Bill Jackson and a gentleman, very knowledgeable gentleman from Washington DC. We had a Zoom meeting, and I didn't realize that we had 7 out of 8 highly recommended. And
What are
so,
we missing on the partnership and collaboration?
um,
How could we do that better?
that's what we need to figure out.
I would have thought
Yeah.
it'd be high right there.
I know, I did too, because we're like, it's BL, I think they want more community. I don't know, the commission, I know we had that whole thing, we sat there for 45 minutes and discussed it, but the commission did support it in the end. It's part of that big transportation plan, although some of the commissioners maybe weren't as aware that it was in there. So, yeah, we'll look at that paragraph. I'm sorry, I didn't, or page about that. And brainstorm on what we can do better. And again, we don't start writing, this goes in like February. So I can be more prepared with that.
I wonder if, just if we can get any information about partnership, we could certainly probably pull in or call out more, whether it's, look at all the different county, we have the commissioners, we have the non-motorized trail committee, we have the motorized trail committee. We have the state through grant programs, we have Division of Outdoor Recreation, which is, Arvin and Lucas Turkington patrol up there sometimes, we have BLM. We have
Sheriff,
the
yeah.
permittees, community members, the economic reality that is Flats, the search and rescue, sheriff's department.
Yeah, they don't have that in there.
We
Yeah.
partner a little bit with the Forest Service too, in terms
Mhm.
of shared boundary
Mhm.
issues.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have? Come on, Tom.
Events,
Help
the
me out.
That
events.
was really impressive, yeah. Just
Yeah, you just
Wow,
rattle them
just-
off.
No, I can't add to that.
Sitla, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Yeah, I think we just
really
need to-
surprised
Really
see
see that,
something
and
that's
I'd like to know
not-
why it's medium, because what better example of partnership and collaboration do we have?
I don't know, and that's why I was kind of like, and we didn't, he was, I'll have to go back to Bill, because they didn't, because, I'll have to go back to my notes actually too, I took a bunch of notes.
Or they didn't have more to this packet.
Well, the weird thing was, the gentleman was very knowledgeable, but he was not one of the ones that assessed it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So he even was telling us some things that he's like, I would have picked it differently. I was like, well, that really doesn't help us because they picked it. That kind of made me nervous, you know?
Andrea, for anybody who's gonna listen to this video, somebody needs to explain what this is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't, what is this for? Why?
Okay,
What's these numbers rated for? I'm confused myself.
Okay, so this is the grant that we applied for, the road department, the county applied to pave the Sam Flats Road for 7 miles with bike lanes on either side, starting at the entrance station, tearing up the existing pavement that goes in for a mile, tearing that up and paving the entire road up to Porcupine Rim with bike lanes on either side. It was a $12 million grant. And we applied to Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity grant, the RAISE grant.
Perfect, got it.
Okay, thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
So it's still in process, you don't know if you've got.
we didn't get it. We had a debrief. We were very close. So what it was they, all right, now I should have looked through my notes. I'm sorry. We didn't get it, but they want us to apply next year because we almost got it. So they were down to 9 in Utah, then they went down to 4 in Utah, and then they picked 2, and we were one of the 4. And they picked 2, and they funded those.
Well.
So we were very
good
close.
weekend to figure out that.
Figure out that
one,
one
and
spot.
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get it.
Yeah. So they had a lot of applicants. They had like almost 1,000 applicants, and they funded like under 200. Like 166 or something they funded. But yeah, I didn't realize we were so close. When I looked at the other projects that have been funded, they were so different from ours. I was surprised we were so close
What
because
about high school mountain bike.
Yep.
They practice up
Yep.
there periodically. and
Periodically.
Volunteer work.
well, I mean, there's so many things that happen. Like, yeah, if we start thinking about it, we're gonna come up with like 100. I mean,
But that's what I'm
Moab
saying.
Science
Yeah, the
Festival of
science
Science
festival,
right
yeah.
now.
right.
Yep.
I just gave them, that's all right, I gave them free camping for just one speaker.
Good job.
But yeah, I think we can.
And they're
certainly
doing the
make
events
that
up there.
possible.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, and congratulations, that's a great job for your first
Yeah.
try for
Right.
a $12 million.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Well, it wasn't just me, of course.
but, I
It
mean,
was the,
collectively good effort and, way to shoot high and we learn from it and hopefully the next shot is a winner.
it really bumped it up, because they did put in without me the year before, but they had my comments. But then this time Bill Jackson said, Andrea, please get involved.
Good.
So it really brought it up.
And that is partnership and collaboration.
Yeah,
See, should have been high.
I know. I mean, yeah, I was a little perplexed. I have to go back to my notes. I think that, with 4 people talking, and I don't know. I think we didn't get to that till toward the end. He went on a lot about all the others. And and I actually didn't have this in front of me when I did it because Jenny Beth was in the meeting too, and she didn't have it, but somehow they sent it to Bill Jackson. So I didn't have this actual thing. So I didn't realize if I'd seen this beforehand, I would have been like, okay, let's just talk about the medium one. But anyway, that's the way it went.
Okay, next.
Okay, next. Well, you don't need that. That was just background on what, what you guys knew. Okay, so new topics. You know what? I am gonna need to use, we're going to have a 2-minute break. I am gonna need to use the restroom. So,
And just a heads up for all, I need to be out of here in like 5.
okay, were these
Not that
things
you
are
have to stop the
closed?
meeting, just letting you know.
Okay, so I don't know what we do. We've never had this, but it's a pause in the meeting.
It's okay.
No pause too.
I'm gonna miss the ant bed out front. Hazel today.
No, they're just gonna do planting.
I know, but
I weeded it.
that was very good.
Yeah, thank you.
I
That
see
is
no
a-
weeds at all. Cells.
You still have to count on that.
But if somebody gives you a 10, it's like done
Well,
and,
someone give you a 5, who's that?
But if you get a 10, that's it.
yeah. Oh, it was 5 before? I get an annual pass every year, so I don't.
Yeah, it
Remember.
was, well,
It was
before
5
it was,
before?
it was 5 a day or 10 a week. Now we dropped the 5 a day
Yeah,
and it's just 10 a week. You
I was
don't have the
for some reason I
option.
was thinking it was 7 a day before.
No, we like
I
to
don't know where
keep
I got
them,
that.
we like to keep them easy numbers for change.
All right,
Yeah.
Jim will be right back. Let's keep going.
Okay. Okay, these can be pretty quick here. So the road department is kindly restriping the road around the Booth Island with the yellow stripes. There's already some yellow stripes, but I think they're gonna come back and do the hatch marks on either side of the booth. Sorry, I don't have a picture, but, and then I don't know if you noticed outside, again, I'm sorry, I don't have a picture, but you can see our new metal kiosks that, oh my gosh, I'm spacing on the name of the Curtis welded for us. Anyway, I'm spacing on his last name, but he welded 3 of them. And what we're gonna do is take up the wooden ones that are at the entrance. We have that 10-minute parking kiosk. Those are getting really rickety, and Joe and I were like, let's just get it done in metal. So he did those for us for a great price. And Jason is in the process. Actually, he sent me the drafts. I haven't had time to look at them, but we're redoing the signs there as far as the maps, updating, the staircase and the Raptor route and all that. And then we also have some more kiosks out there that I purchased actually in December, but Active Trails and Transportation, I believe, is going to put them in with some equipment for the BLM because it's in the rock and their posts. I think they're using some kind of an auger thing or something you guys have. And Tyson was telling me about that. So we'll get a new kiosk up at Porcupine that's going to be near the closer to the Hawks Glide end of the parking, end of the parking lot at Porcupine. I'm sorry, I didn't bring you pictures of that. But so it's going to be a sign for Hawks Glide and Porcupine, and then we're going to put one in at Eagle Eye, Hawks Glide at that area. And so we're working on those kiosks. I'll have the pictures for you next time. Yeah, so some new kiosks going in. Responsible Recreation Committee video, and I printed myself out something on that. So I'm just helping the Responsible Rec. I'm one of the members. They're going to be kind of combining the videos that Mark Finley has done with another company. Is going to be actually doing the main work on it. What is their name again? They're out of Salt Lake. And they're going to be creating this educational program that will be for the businesses in town. And so that their employees can do the program online, and there's going to be like videos and quiz questions for them to answer. And they're going to start out first with phase 1, which is going to be like an introduction for business steward program. Audiences, owners, employees of local businesses. They're going to talk about trip planning, BioCrush, sharing Moab and the trails, cultural sites, waste and wag bags. And then they're going to have these secondary videos that are going to be really pulling more on, well, any of them can be pulling on Mark Finley's extensive library of stuff. But they're going to have, hiking, mountain biking, motorized, camping, river use, climbing, canyoneering, dogs. So it's a pretty big project, and I've just been kind of giving some pointers to their outline. They're just at the outline stage right now, but they have the funding for it.
Yeah.
I had the name of that other company here and now I can't see it. So it's typed in here, but anyway, so that's all just kind of starting. So I just have attended one meeting about this particular subject. Public Lands Day is September 23rd, and Active Trails and Transportation, I guess, will be on the Kestrel Trail, and we'll do a typical volunteer day where people mostly pick up trash along the road and in the campgrounds.
How many volunteer days do you have?
We always have 2. Sometimes we have 4, but we always have this public.
Because that was one of those discussion topics on the business.
Yeah, we always have it the state, or no, always have it in the fall. Sometimes it'll be the week after or something. And then we always have 1 in the spring, but sometimes we can have 2. But we've been a little short-staffed, and then with COVID, but we've always had 2 a year since
Did
COVID.
you count that Outfitter Day and
No, that's not counting that. And actually, we had
But
a,
I bet you if we asked Andrea nicely, she would consider that if people were to want passes.
well, we did give
Oh, you
passes.
did, well, there you go, so that's a.
Yeah, so that's another one. We actually had a lot in February. We had motorized trail committee come up with my staff and do, you know, south fins. You guys did a thing on north fins. The Friends for Four Wheeling went out and fixed fence on Hell's Revenge on the Sitla portions, and then also further out at the Abyss. And then active Trails and Transportation, well, Trail Mix came up, Colin Topper, and they had like 30 that day. And they went and did work on pinion for us with cobble lining and fixed up Falcon Flow. So that was like, it was awesome. We had all these projects in February. And I, you know, met with them and figured out what was gonna happen and everything. So yeah, it was a good, yeah, so there's all those other opportunities for locals.
So
Any
we
of them
keep
that
that
need a
stuff in
pass, we
mind.
give them to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those projects. Yeah. Oh, this is another Jennifer one.
So for the bottom one.
Yeah.
If you recall, our plan was to do one full season.
I didn't
during
recall.
fall.
Okay, okay.
And so I don't know what data, if any, you've been able to collect in terms of your staff observations and all that.
Well,
That's-
Jason has that night counter there, but I haven't asked him for the numbers for a while, a few
And if we can
months.
correlate that with the damage, and otherwise, I'm guessing it might be a non-issue if we don't have data to back it up.
Okay, oh, okay. Well, we will make sure everything's good for this fall, make sure I'll meet with Jason. I think everything, when I asked him a few months ago, he said everything was working fine with the night one. So I thought, so, all right.
Yeah, I thought earlier you said you've never been able to extract data.
The new one he got?
Or anything, I mean, anytime, we've never seen data.
Oh, no,
But
we've
yeah,
been
that's the
extracting.
whole-
Oh,
That's the whole thing is backup data to
Right.
show that the.
yeah.
Right, the
nighttime use of
nighttime.
the
Oh, yeah,
trails
we just know,
results
I mean, the
in
stewardship committee just
trail
never heard.
damage.
Yeah, we just got the different counter for the night one.
Mm.
So, I mean, last,
Well, kind of
winter
the
for
other
you
part of
guys.
that too, though, was at 10 o'clock, you know, all the people that are camping there, that they still got people running around at that time of night, they're trying to sleep.
I personally agree with you, but from the authorized officer's interest, they want data.
Yeah. I know.
That's
And, you know,
fine.
Those people would.
well, his numbers were pretty low. When he gave me the data, like at the end of the spring, the night use data was pretty low on Hills. So. Yeah, we did have problems with some of them because the cords would break. And then, or they had pinholes in them. And so, but I thought the night one was different. But,
Oh, I was just saying that I never heard any data, yeah.
yeah, no, you didn't probably for the, I didn't give you guys any data in June. I should have.
Well, no.
Yeah, and I should have it for this time. So, I can email you guys that after this week. Tomorrow when I talk to Jason.
We gotta have data to support it, otherwise it's.
Right. I can say it's anecdotal, they can say it's, yeah.
minimizing
Subjective.
access.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you have any other, what do I have? Oh, I didn't want to forget to let you know they're putting down the magnesium chloride.
We only got one call today,
Oh,
and
good.
it's from a permitted outfitter that had been informed.
Was it Medieval Chamber?
No, my impression secondhand was that it was a motorized.
Well, you know what they actually ended up doing, the contractor. I mean, we didn't close the road, but essentially we kind of did close the road in that they were saying you're gonna have to wait an hour. And so people didn't want to do that.
It's one day.
I know, and it wasn't even a whole day. They're supposed to be like, we're done like at 3 or something. They're supposed to be done, so. So, okay, so Jennifer, do you have some other updates
I
might
can tell you
apply?
National Public Lands Day stuff. Excuse me, we're starting this weekend with Westwater cleanup. That's I think third year, no, missing COVID, fourth year with Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance. you mentioned Cashville, thank you. Working on repairing the 7 mile rim trail with Red Rock 4-wheelers, and Carrie's gonna be out there with them, so thank you for that. Also, Motorized Trail Committee, if anybody joins, Jeff Stevens and friends from which is really Jeff plus one now, I think.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna set a park ranger out with them as well as Bill Stevens, and that's on the 23rd. Sorry, both of those are on the 23rd. And then you mentioned the Sand Flats.
And Justin Pritchett.
Yeah, and the project's just a mile in.
Yeah.
So. What else do we have going on? We just completed a new group site at Lower Onion Creek. It's on the sort of downstream side, closest to the first original one and the most new one. Hopefully that will allow for opportunities for folks to have their groups, large groups in one place.
Nice.
What else is going on? We're staging materials for the mineral bottom. We're putting in 2 shade shelters there. One just downstream of the dirt vault ramp, one across the street from the dirt vault ramp, or the dirt road. Street's probably a big word. And then also using posting cable to delineate the base jump parking area at the base of the base jump focus area, as well as posting cable and an expansion of the long-term parking area for Labyrinth Canyon for trailers. So that's really exciting to get that finally underway. Hopefully we'll be done with that by the middle of October. We've been installing a bunch of new kiosks. I should have brought a picture of the new look. Camp posts are back. We don't ever have enough of them. I, having been out of town for the last 3.5 weeks, was astounded when I went to City Market last night. I forgot how busy we were already.
You know, we just got busy.
Yeah.
We just got busy this week.
Well,
And it's kind of a week early. It's kind of a week early.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our impression up at Sam
What
Flats anyway.
else? We're bringing back our non-native invasive plant removal trip up in Westwater for the first time since 19, which is really exciting. That was all put on hold with pandemic challenges. I'm trying to go corridor by corridor. What else do we have?
How much area?
It's just the canyon, the 17 or 21 miles, but it's the designated campsites that we focus on. So it's mostly treating knapweed and removing tamarack sprouts and treating them, and then some Russian olive girdling. Unfortunately, we had to postpone our chicken quarters partner trip because it's in the Monticello field office and they weren't able to make it. So that's rescheduled for, I think it's November 6th. We did fly the park ranger OHV. It's not the first time we've ever done an OHV focused park ranger. It's the first time we've put OHV in parentheses next to park ranger. So John Clevenger was previously in that position and he went up to Price.
Oh.
We didn't have a really great applicant pool, but we hope we'll get a good person off of that.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, so he's living happily ever after Price, but the idea is to not only partner with Grand County Motorized Trail Committee, but the new regional trail crew chief. That, Department of Outdoor Recreation is going to
do you know his
have here in
name?
Lod.
Do you know his
I don't know
name?
that it's been hired yet.
Oh, okay.
And to really beef up our ability to not only organize and orchestrate, but regular and consistent trail work projects. That's okay. I think it's on YouTube.
Buy more stuff.
Buy more stuff.
It takes me like
Yeah.
5 minutes for me to dawn.
We did get some extra windfall funding that was related to the Spanish Trail, the old Spanish National Historic Trail. And so we have a bunch of materials sitting around, and in the next year, we'll be looking to improve some of the associated parking areas. So that would be things like Looking Glass, Casa Colorado, which is also Las Tinajas, the halfway stage station over by Mill Canyon, Sago, the interpretive area there, Cisco, and Westwater. So those will be coming in the next year.
We're gonna have a lot to do.
Oh, we have so much work, so much work. You probably heard Todd Murdoch moved out of the outdoor recreation planner position over to the assistant field manager for resources position. And I think he's really enjoying the new challenge and doing great. So we're trying to hire behind him. We did make an offer, and unfortunately the individual, due to having a partner and a dog, couldn't find housing, so they declined.
Oh, so Carrie is just acting?
No, Carrie, that's a separate position. Yeah,
Oh.
Carrie's a full-fledged direct planner. So we have Carrie, Bill, and Katie. There's the vice Todd, and then we have a GS9, which is the vice Carrie, which we've hired and starts with us on October 9th. So we're excited to have that help. What else is going on staffing wise? You know, maintenance is just continues to be the most amazing rock stars. They do so much work out there. We just see so much graffiti nowadays that, you know, on the signs, on the bathroom
I
walls.
haven't used it, right?
It's really
It's not happening
challenging.
to us, knock on wood. I don't know why. It's not
Yeah.
happening to us. So far.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous out there in some spots.
Yeah,
Must be there's just too many people around.
I think the more
Sandbox.
people that are
Or the
around, the
entrance fee.
better people
The
behave.
entrance fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Where do
people
you see
think they're in
the
a state
graffiti?
park. Oh, we're seeing it everywhere. We're seeing it on the backs of signs, inside the
Oh.
bathroom, the vault,
Not the
toilet
faded
walls.
bathrooms at their bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to
I
talk
like
about.
Yeah, I want.
Well, since the bathrooms are a subject,
Yes.
I would like to call Pete, Apicella, right? He's the one that's been doing it. Because,
He
you know,
did those.
before I was like, I don't want them, just want to keep them simple, but we are continuing to have a problem with our trees. That is not going away with people tearing the bark off the trees, you know, really abusing our trees in the campgrounds, even though we have new signs on top of every picnic table for like the last year. We have it on our carcinite, we have it in our permit, we have it on your map, we have it everywhere. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem to matter. So I was gonna talk to Pete about, hey, what about doing like one wall in each of our concrete toilets?
Don't hurt the
That
trees.
talks, you know, that talks about trees and pictures of
Yeah.
trees and you know,
That's a great idea.
let's just try it. Because
Yeah.
it's so sad and you can't bring them back, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just, so definitely C and D and B and we can have them, and that's where we see most of the destruction and, well, Juniper, we don't have it, but.
You know the problem with most of these people? When you go out and tell them, and they say, it's just a bad tree, it's ugly and stuff. And you tell them, you know, it's about 100 years old.
They just don't.
They don't know it.
It's just, you know, until you do something like that, it doesn't sink in.
Someone Facebooked at, Warner Lake, they went up to a Boy Scout group that was girdling the aspens, and went up to the leader and said, what are your kids doing? And the leader just was
Boy
like,
Scouts are the worst.
and I was like,
They
can't
can be,
do
they can be.
anything, and this person didn't know what to do. Like, they're killing the tree by
Girdling
girdling
it.
it. Like, what are they doing? It's just destructive.
The only updates that come to mind is big picture projects. We are moving forward with the Poison Spider paving project. I don't have
Oh,
a
the
date yet
parking lot.
because the contract has not been let, but we will be removing that last chunk of sandstone that is in the way to maximize the efficiency of pull through and parking spaces.
Do we get any boulders out of that chunk?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure if you want some. I mean, we had them break down the first half of it. We wanted all of it, but they've laid them down between the access road and the top.
You might have some boulders?
Oh, yeah.
I'm always looking for boulders.
Okay.
Cause I can
Keep that
either
in
have,
mind.
you guys haul them, or I can get you know, somebody else like.
Do you know where there's
Keys to haul
tons of
them.
boulders right now that you're welcome to use,
Oh.
courtesy of UDOT, on the
Where?
side of 279. We actually were harvesting them to the point where we broke the forks on our forklift, and then we broke the
Was that from that
axle.
one rock fall?
Mhm. We broke the
So,
axle on our
yeah.
dump trailer, so UDOT's
Just
more than
about.
happy to have us take
But I
them.
would need to get a contractor to get them.
Probably, I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
front end
about 2
loader and
miles
a dump
down.
truck would be great. But there's a lot of material there if you need it.
Really?
Uh,
Okay. How
hoping-
far in on 279?
Oh, it's before the bend, before you
Oh,
lose
right,
south.
It is a
Okay.
big rock fall.
Yeah,
Oh.
hopefully sometime November through February, we'll be moving forward with the boat ramp improvement project that was intended to be executed last November through February. And that is concrete on Dewey. We already reduced the grade and increased a new road punched out. I don't know if anybody's seen that or cares. Paving of one or concrete of one of the lower Onion Creeks, and then work at Rocky Rapid in concrete. don't know how that's gonna work in terms of the funding that's available and what the contract bids come in as. So the priority would be Dewey, Lower Onion, Rocky. And that was done in coordination with the permittees back in 2019. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch more. What am I missing? Just busy fall.
It is, all of a sudden, crazy.
Oh, the Labyrinth Gemini travel plan is hopefully the environmental assessment and decision record will hopefully be signed by the end of this month. And then we'll see where that goes from that point. Any questions? Oh, super exciting news that I should mention. Canyonlands Natural History Association saw fit to honor our aid request to the tune of $15,000 that will be provided to UDOT. And that says the BLM portion and CNHA's support of the corridor study or visioning plan. And this is all in an attempt to not only identify and prioritize projects along SR 128, but the paved bike path gap.
Yeah, wasn't the county involved?
We're all
What's the
trying to
bypass
move the
gap?
mountain.
To Grand Staff.
It's the it's
Oh,
just
the
over
last
one,
part.
just over a
Maybe I
half
just
mile.
got lost for a second.
Yeah.
And then one of my other priority projects is addressing takeout. You know, obviously we've done what we can do, but we probably would like pocket ingress egress lanes there, especially with the increase in climber
It's a busy
traffic
place.
and yeah. And then of course Grand Staff Canyon is a safety concern for both BLM and UDOT. But the corridor visioning study goes all the way up to Dewey. So we got to think big. This way we can identify projects, and then apparently, from my understanding, UDOT has other pots of money that are, you know, sizable in nature. And because we have this document in place, they can go after those pockets of funding. So
Cool.
fingers crossed. Long-term
Should
planning.
we get, well, we'll just see how we do next year with our grant. It's on that, I mean, as far as like a document, it's on that UDOT list of
Which
10
is the,
for the Sandbox Road.
yeah,
So Highway 128 wasn't,
They've never done a corridor vision document on it
Oh.
because in UDOT's mind, and I'm not speaking for them, but this is what I've heard, it's not a high trafficked corridor compared to the I-70,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
something
so
about it being a scenic route or something about it not having the
well,
right
it has two
category.
designations of scenic.
Yeah,
It's
no, I mean,
national
but
and
that makes
state.
it actually lose category of safety or something, because it's more like, you're supposed to drive slow on a scenic route or something. I don't know, I heard
But
rumors.
yeah,
too,
we
I don't
went on
know
a
if
site
it's-
visit in
something
February
about-
and talked about some of these projects, and I'm super appreciative of UDOT's willingness to work with us, and then of course CNHA's support of that. Now we just have to figure out how to exchange the money, because that's always the hard part.
oh, yeah.
So I have to partner with the county, I think, and I've been working with Dan Stenta, he's been on these emails. But maybe it's something that the commission is going to see, because I think what we need is a MOU type tool that basically CNHA would give the money to Grand County, and then UDOT would invoice
They
Grand
did it
County.
for those grants for years,
So,
for the youth grants. It came from CNH, from you guys to CNHA to Sandbox anyway.
Yep. And I'm sorry, I'm sure there's lots of great things that I'm forgetting, but that's it.
No, that's a
That's
lot,
exciting.
yeah. Okay, well, before that, I think, unless anybody has any more questions, that's. Oh, wait, Evan,
The commission.
Commissioner.
well, everybody was talking about staffing stuff, so I'll just mention that we did hire or fill the economic development director position. So Ben Frederigal, he's semi-local, and should be coming on early next week. So
Didn't he
that's
have a similar position in the county?
no,
different
different
Ben?
Ben.
Different Ben. Okay, thank you.
th-
I don't know
I would
last
attempt
name.
to explain who he is, but I'd
Okay,
probably ruin
that's
it.
I heard he's somehow part of the Bates Wilson plan.
Yes, yep, so that's and he's worked he's got a good history both locally but also has a place in Colorado, but already has a house here, so the housing thing is taken care of. So that's nice. And then in terms of our finance director, that's probably not, but Chris Baird stepping down. For the budgeting process this year, we're under contract with Cody Dieter, who has done some auditing and fraud assessment for the county before. So he's pretty familiar with our systems and departments and that sort of stuff. And so he'll put together the amendments for this year's budget and the plan for next year's budget. And so Andrew, that'll be your point person. I don't know if you've ever worked with him before.
No, I've only,
Yeah. So it'll be through Gabe's office, and the
Okay.
process should all look pretty similar. And the expectation is that he'll help with, not just other county departments, but other taxing agencies in the county. So.
well, I met with Gabe and then I go before you guys next Thursday, so I don't know. Gabe didn't mention anything about, I'm supposed to contact him?
No. Just work with Gabe, but if you see some other players, we've got it covered. That's where it's going.
Okay.
I think that's all I got from the county.
Okay. All right.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Okay, well, I guess we will adjourn, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
Adjourning.
couldn't do it without you, that's for sure. Oh, we can't hear you.
I can raise